Hey everybody. It's me. It's me, Carson. How are you doing, first of all? That's very good. That's very good. I'm very happy for you. Um, I'm doing pretty good too. Um, I don't know. On my other screen right now, I have something I can't show you. I'm working on a project right now. I'm actually working on like three projects actually, but I'm only working on one right this second. But like I have a few going on in tandem. And not only the three that I have in tandem, I also have a bunch that I'm thinking about and a bunch that I'm waiting to do. My time is stretched so thin across these projects because I have so much ambitions. I have so many ambitions. I have so many ideas that I think are cool, and I have so many that just require a lot of time and energy, and I just don't have like a full team. Like what I need is I need like some ghostwriters. I need some people, or not like a ghost. I need like scribes. I need people who are just gonna follow me around with a big notebook and a pen and just write down everything that I say. I need and then like I would just get like a recording device and just record myself, but then that just the crazy guy talks to himself, right? So yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, if I had like an entourage, that would go insane. That would go so good for me. If I had like a musician or two following me around listening to ideas so that they could go home and just get to work on stuff that I need. If I had a professional animator who could just follow my style to a T and just completely replicate and just churn the stuff out, maybe two or three animators, boom. If I had just more facilities, I guess. And that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, but I mean, I digress. We might get there later on. Um, but yeah, right now I'm listening to Pink Floyd's The Wall 1979, the full album. And right now I'm a little less than halfway through it. Um, I've heard it's a very good album. I've heard a lot of the songs on it, but I haven't heard all of it. Um, I've been turning a lot more into an album guy recently. And not just for this project that I'm doing. This project that I will not explain to you at all. And I don't know what it is, but just I listened to a few albums at my brother's request, and it just got me into albums as a whole. It is really a unique way to enjoy music because a lot of albums are structured like movies, and I'm not really a movie guy either, but I mean I've been becoming more of a movie guy. I don't know what that's all about. I guess my tastes are refining, and I've been sponging more and more recently. So yeah, that's one thing off the checklist to talk about here. No, I don't actually have a checklist. I don't have anything. I just felt like recording at 6:02 a.m. Now it's 6:12 on July 24th, 2025. I guess I'm just kind of bored of not having videos to upload like every week. Like when I first started, I was a little less careful with what I uploaded. Um I've had a few comments telling me they want to see more videos like my dreams video, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I mean, it's an interesting video, I think. Like in the same way as just a guy rambling on and on is, but I'm not very proud of it. Honestly, my favorite video that I have uploaded, and you would not believe this, you would not believe it. It's not even my highest viewed video. My favorite book, my favorite. I'm looking at my YouTube thumbnails right now. That's why I said book. But my favorite video that I've uploaded is actually my second highest viewed video, and it's just me rambling. It's just me rambling. But dreams, that's a kind of ramble that I just can't get behind because there's not a whole lot of point to it. I just felt like rambling on about this funny little concept, and so then I did it. So I might do another kind of abstract thing like that, but I mean, I prefer abstract when there's a bit of a point. Like I can't really just get behind uh just rambling on and on and on without reason. So, anyways, I digress about that. I need an entourage. That's what I was talking about. Because I just got too much stuff, dude. I have way too many things. For example, I'm also, on top of my personal projects, I'm also balancing computer science still. I've got my last class. I just finished my a group communication class, and that was hellish. I hated that. I hated that so much. And not because I'm not good at speaking in groups. You guys have seen me rant on and argue with people in my comment section, albeit through a screen, but I'm pretty good at talking to people in real life too. I can argue, I can hold my own in a conversation pretty well. But in this class, nobody would engage with me. I guess it's for a few things, like it's a summer course, nobody cares that much, and not all of these people are seniors, so they're not taking it super seriously. But like, I needed this class to graduate, right? Because they shorted me a few hours. So I was like, whatever. I'll give you an example of something bad that happened to me. That's why this class was so hellish. My professor gave us a week to do 3 assignments. And that wasn't that hard, but they were all group assignments. These assignments were all group assignments. And so we had a week to do it, but the week before the first week of that class even started, I emailed my entire group 2 weeks in advance. I said, hey guys, we should get started on this pretty much as soon as possible. So like, as soon as you guys are comfortable, you've got my email now, because I just emailed you all. We can set up a Google Meet, and if we all can't decide on a single time, I can meet with everybody in like a few different meets if need be. I just want to get this work done. Easy peasy. And so a week passes and nobody responds to me. I check my email on a Monday, and turns out somebody did email me about 24 hours ago. They emailed me on Sunday, but like the hour after it turned Sunday. So I would still count that as Saturday. 1 a.m. email is so wild for a group communication class, because my phone is rather dry. I don't have people texting me all the time. So like, what happens is, when I'm waiting on an important email, I just turn my notifications on. And so if you email me at 2 a.m, 1 a.m, I'm not seeing that when I wake up, because my inbox has already been flooded with a bunch of scams and junk. Just junk mail. And like, I filter my email, but like, I also have stuff that I need, like for example, subscription notices. And I need what else? Like emails with my professor and the registrar, and I need emails with just whoever. But like, my emails just get filled. They just get filled. So this guy's email at 1 a.m. gets buried by the time I wake up at noon. And so I don't see it. I don't see that email he sent me. And so I'm under the impression nobody had emailed me on Sunday, until I wake up on Monday and I find out, okay, somebody has. But now there's only 3 days left to do these projects. So I'm like, okay guys, time to kick it into gear. We've got to meet, and we have to get these things done, and it's literally not even going to take an hour. Just get on. And so nobody replies to me until the day that the assignments were due. I'm like, okay guys, here's what's going to happen. I am going to start a Google Meet 2 hours before this thing is due. And if you guys don't show up, you don't show up. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm not even joking. Without me asking her or anything, my professor puts me in a different group. She just takes me out of the group that I've been talking to, and she just puts me in a brand new one, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I email my professor. I'm like, hey, excuse me, but you just moved me to a different group this morning. So now what do? I have less than maybe 12 hours. I have less than 8 hours to do what should have taken me an entire week. And she's just like, you know what? Try to contact your new group, and if they don't email you back, forward me your email and I will give you full credit. I'm like, all right. So I email my new group and I'm like crossing my fingers, don't respond, don't respond, don't respond, don't respond. And then I go out for the day because I'm like, you know what, even if they do respond, I'm gonna pretend they didn't, and I'm gonna and I guess that was a bad thing because she told me to forward her the email, but I'd probably be like, I didn't understand. I don't know what you want. And so but like really it's her fault. She put me in a new group, and then she was like less than 8 hours to do a week's worth of work. So of course my group doesn't email me back. They're like, we can't. I mean, there's 8 hours. I can't be bothered to respond to this email. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I forwarded her that email, and she puts one of the grades in as a 0 and two of them as 100. So I'm like, wait, excuse me. You put two of these group things as 100s, but you put one of them as a 0, but you said you would give me full credit if I forwarded you the email. And she's just like, yeah, but you also didn't do any work, so these should all be 0s, actually. And then she turns them all to 0s, and I'm like, you didn't tell me. You told me forward you the email and you would give me credit. So I'm like, and she's just like, oh, I see the confusion. Yeah, go ahead and do the work and then turn that in, and then I'll give you full credit. So then I did the work, and then I went back and redid all of the work, and then it was just a headache. One of my group mates in the future, I had to switch groups twice because my second group didn't give me anything, but my third group, I got into a meeting with this guy, and he was telling me that, like, for so long he was not able to meet with anybody because his parents lived in Israel, and that's when the Israeli war thing going on had just broken out, so they were displaced by Israel getting bombed. And so my partner, I'm like, oh my god, are you all right? Do you live in Israel? He's like, no, I'm here in America, but I just have more responsibilities than I was planning on having. I'm like, oh, you poor guy. And so, like, he tells me that our professor wasn't cutting him any slack. He's just like, can I get an extension on these projects because I wasn't able to start them because I've been trying to focus on living and surviving in real life. And she goes, please refer to my late policy on our website. And so he looks at the website and it's just like, I do not accept late work. Turn in your work on time. Thank you very much. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I told a different professor of mine, and he's just like, I've had worse excuses than actual real life war. That sounds just like a bad teacher. I'm just like, you should probably go to the department chair. And he's just like, I think she's the department chair. So it's just over. It's just over for that guy. And it was almost over for me, but I clutched up. So it's okay. So yeah, now I'm just doing computer science. I'm like, I'm trying to balance my personal projects and this software engineering thing. I'll tell you something, as fun as software engineering is, I'm not really a big fan. I cannot see myself doing this for the rest of my life. and I guess that's kind of fitting, because, you know, I'm listening to Pink Floyd's The Wall album, and I don't really want to be another brick in the wall. I don't really want to get a job, and that sounds lazy. I know. but I promise I'm not lazy. I want to say something, but I phrased it like this to a friend of mine, and he was not keen on the way I phrased it. He was just like, of all the pompous, annoying things I've heard in my life. So I guess I'll just say it. I've put it, work is how you say beneath me. And, you know, to every joke there is a little truth. Like, I really don't feel like I am above work. I think I'm above labor. I think that's the way I want to put it. I'm above labor. My work can't feel like labor. And I'll tell you something, like, I could be happy doing something. that I don't necessarily want to do, but I mean, it's just going to be more effort. It's just going to be more effort is what I mean. So like it's beneath me. I want to do things that make me happy, that are fulfilling. I don't want to do things that are necessary, quote unquote. Uh not to be the guy to quote Rick and Morty, but like there's a scene in season 3 where Dr. Wong, the family therapist, is talking about how like Rick doesn't like doing things that feel like chores, that feel like not an adventure. He wants to go on an adventure. He doesn't want to do the boring stuff. And she compares him going to family therapy to wiping her butt. And I mean, yeah, I mean that's how a job would feel, I guess. And it's not like I don't want a job. I just want a job where I control what I'm working on at any given moment. I think that's the caveat. Like I don't want to be told what to do 24/7. I want a little bit of creative freedom. And I want to work on a project that personally interests me, and I want to work on a project that has tangible results. And I don't want to make tools. That's something that software engineering does a lot. You make a tool or you make a interface. I don't want to make tools or interfaces. I want to make art. I want to be an artist, right? I mean, that's the whole point of what this channel is about. It's about me just making art. Making art. But artists starve. Starving artists, that's a very common trope. So I've put it like this in real life. I've put it like this. If work is beneath me, I can be happy homeless. And my family really doesn't like that one. My family and friends really don't like that one, because what they hear when they hear that, they don't hear I want to take a risk. I want to be what I want to be. They hear my boy is lazy. My boy is lazy and he has no intention of working because he's a lazy freeloader and he's going to be living at home with mommy and daddy forever. That's not true. That's not true. I don't plan on living with mommy and daddy forever. I'd probably be... I would happily be homeless rather than live with mommy and daddy forever. But the goal is not to be homeless. The goal is not to be homeless. My goal is to, make art. Make art. And even if that causes me to starve. Because the way that I see it, my being born does not entitle anybody to a decision about my future. That's up to me to decide. Do I want to play things straight and get a job that I don't necessarily like just so I can quit it in a few years, just so I can get another job that I don't like that pays slightly more, and just keep doing that and just invest all my money into 401ks and social security checks and blah 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 blah, right? That's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. I want to work on a project until it's done and then release it and see how it does. And then if people don't like it, too bad. And then work on a new thing. That's what I want to do. That's what I do. And I'll tell you something. That's what I like about YouTube. YouTube just lets me work on a thing until I'm done, and then I upload it, and then I see how it does, and if people don't like it, too bad. I don't know. I also see where they're coming from. They want to see me do well. They want me to achieve. Ever since I was little, I've heard my parents say, you're going to grow up, you're going to go to college, you're going to get a better job than me and your father, you're going to this, you're going to that. I've heard that all the time. And it's not that I'm afraid of the expectations, because I have that expectation. I expect to do better than the people who came before me. I mean, I am the next step of a genetic algorithm designed to win. Or something, I guess. I don't know. I'm something. I am a creature. And this creature does want to work. I need to make that very, very clear. I do want to work. I like to work. But I like to work on what I like to work on. I don't like to work on what I don't like to work on, and I can't force myself to work on something that I don't like. It just won't work for me. It will not work. Yeah. And so that's been on my mind recently. That's been on my mind. Because what's the alternative? I've been thinking about my writing endeavors and my art endeavors, and I've been thinking about what happens if that doesn't pan out. I've been feeling as if I've majored in the wrong thing, because ultimately what I like to do is I like to sit down and I like to read and I like to write and I like to draw and I like to think and I like to talk. I like to talk mostly. And so, if I'm not afforded the right to do any of those at my future job, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's not to say that I think my computer science degree that I'm about to earn is useless. In fact, I think it's invaluable because I also like making video games. I mean, I made 2 in 1 semester. And so like I recently joined a Game Maker's Toolkit game jam on itch. And I'm going to learn a real game engine like Unity, and I'm just going to try to hovel something together and upload it, and just hone in my skills there. But that's exactly what I mean. My time is split so thinly, and honestly, I could do without the computer science degree if it meant I got to do the job I like to do: read, write, talk, draw. But people don't really think there's a lot of money in reading, writing, talking, and drawing. I don't know. Maybe there's not. I mean, there's a billion books being written all the time. All the time. And a lot of books are AI generated now. Ugh, that pisses me off. It pisses me off so much. In fact, I've got 2 projects that I'm working on about AI right now. I can't really tell you about them, but I mean, AI's been on my mind a lot recently. And it's not like I don't use AI. I use AI. But I don't use it liberally. I don't even use it to write stuff for me. I will go out of my way to say, hey, don't you dare write a line for me. Because the way that I see it, ChatGPT does not know how to write. Grok doesn't know how to write. No AI can figure out how to write, because Stephen King once referred to writing as a form of telepathy. And you can just translate one thought from one person's head to another wordlessly. And that's kind of what it is, but I don't even fully agree with that. What I think writing is just, it's art. It's art, I guess. But I'm trying to think of the simplest way to explain it. I think writing is dependent on the person that is writing it. For example, poetry is not a short story. Poetry is poetry. And so if I'm reading poetry, I'm not just reading poetry. I'm reading Anne Spencer's poetry. I'm reading Edgar Allan Poe's poetry. I'm reading Shakespeare's poetry, right? It's dependent. You cannot have ChatGPT write you a poem and it means something. And it means something. You just can't do it because there's no human behind it. The whole point of writing is to express your voice. I mean, unless it's like a technical paper or a legal document, right? I mean, that's technically writing. But I mean writing as an art form, not writing as a business. And there's a thing, too. Art is becoming more business-like. You have people out here trying to automate every single facet of art, churning out AI-generated images. Remember when NFTs were huge? People just made like a bunch of preset monkeys with a bunch of preset just apparel, and they would just mismatch the hats and the clothes and the expression on the monkey's face. It was so steam pressed straight off of the assembly line. That junk is disgusting, and that's why people hated them so much. It's because they're unappealing to look at, they're generic, and they're soulless. So when people sit down and look at AI generated pictures and AI generated thoughts and words, I can't help but feel like that person is a moron. What I typically use ChatGPT just to grade my work, and not even to like fully grade it, because I'll often argue with ChatGPT. I'll argue with it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I'll finish a chapter that I'm working on, and then given that it's under like 3,000 words, I'll submit it to ChatGPT and I'll be like, grade this according to these metrics. I want you to, excuse me, I want you to tell me how well I did on my tone, at my characterization, at my plot, at the symbols that I use, at the language, everything. I just want you to tell me how good the sensory details are. I want you to tell me if the stream of consciousness style that I'm working with is good, and then it'll give me numbers. And here's the thing: ChatGPT's advice is bad twofold. I use it a lot still because it helps me just think things through. Like, do I agree with what he's saying? Do I disagree with what he's saying? But for the most part, it's very, very uninformative advice. Like something along the lines, like very general. You might want to open this up to a wider audience. It's just like, okay, thank you, whatever that means. Just like it's a short story. What do you mean open it up to a wider audience? Like I can't think of something more niche than writing, honestly. Other than like very, very minute hobbies like knitting or something. Knitting is a lot more niche than writing is. Everybody writes. But what I mean is, like, writing has its own sub niches. Like you've got like you can break it up by genre. You can break it up by length. Like you got novels, novellas, you have short stories, you have poetry. But like you could also just break it up by genre: sci-fi, fantasy, dark fantasy, horror, like all of this stuff. So like obvious, like what do you mean open it up to a wider audience, ChatGPT? That doesn't make any sense. It's useless advice. And worse so is if you press ChatGPT about anything, it will insist that you are actually right and it was wrong. I'm sorry, my mistake. and if you do something with intent, something that's subjective with intent, it will not hold its ground, even if that intent is bad. For example, if I wanted to make my main character a dog in a world of humans and the dog still talks for some reason, well you would ask, well, why is it a dog? And it's like, well, because I think dogs are cute. And ChatGPT would be like, that's a valid reason. Good for you. It's just like, okay, well, if your story does not warrant the main character being a dog, don't do it. And so that's something that frustrates me, is because, like, it's got no backbone on anything. You can tell it anything, and it'll just believe you. And the amount of times that I've found it giving me advice that is just utterly terrible, it's just bad. I guess it really does just appeal to people that just don't get it. That just do not get it. And so many people just don't get it. That's something that's pissing me off too. There are so many people that just don't get it, and I'm finding myself at a loss for words for how to explain it. How do you explain how to enjoy a piece of art? You really can't. It's either it resonates with you or it doesn't. And I'm finding myself resonating with a lot more stuff recently. So it's making me frustrated that not everybody can resonate with the same things that I'm resonating with. I'll give you an example of this. I was out after my birthday with a friend of mine for the 4th of July. His name is Nick. Hi Nick. Hi buddy. Basically, I was out with the guy and his girlfriend and my other buddy Cameron. Hey Cameron. Hey Rebecca too. I'm sorry, I almost skipped you. From the top. Hi Nick. Hi Rebecca. Hi Cameron. I was out with all of those guys and girl. I was out with them and we went to this like local ice cream place that we like to go to. That's like pretty goated, and we sat down and they started playing some sappy old country song. It wasn't Freebird, but we started talking about Freebird because I was talking about like whinier music. I was like, my buddy Cameron's actually, let me just restart this story. What am I doing, dude? I mean, it's 6:40. It's 6:40 now. I've been talking for like a good 30 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so restart the story. We went out on the 4th of July, me, Cameron, Nick, Rebecca, and we were at this ice cream place and we sat down with our ice cream and we were eating it. And then a sappy little country song came on. My buddy Cameron quips, they should play Freebird. And my friend Nick goes, Freebird is a terrible song by a terrible musician, terrible band, it's terrible. And I'm like, what do you mean? How can you say that? He's just like, musically speaking, if you were to look at the sheet music for that song, it's 8 notes. 8 notes on repeat the entire time. I'm like, and Cameron goes, and he perfected each of those 8 notes. I'm like, I agree with Cameron. And Rebecca stayed out of it, but Nick's like, no. Like musically speaking, it's a dumb song that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, wow, how can you say it doesn't mean anything? He's just like, what does it mean, Carson? What does it mean? And so I'm like, I mean, the guy just got out of a relationship of some sort, and he's lamenting it. He's like, if I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Like he's feeling sad, and he's contemplating killing himself. Right? That's the way I take it. I take it as in, this guy was afraid to commit to a woman, so the woman left him, and so now he's wondering if she hates him. But then a little bit later on in the song, he completely gets over it. He's just like, and the bird you cannot change. And then it starts getting faster because he realizes, you know what, if I can't change, why do I even miss her? Whoa, I can't change. I'ma fly high like a free bird, yeah. It's a beautiful song. It starts off whiny, and I guess he might not be into that like whinier sound, but I'm like, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. He's just like, I miss this girl, but after all, I'm just a guy. I can't change. So I'm a party, and that's basically what he does. He just like and the way I imagine it, like this dude is speeding down the highway on like a drug-fueled bender being chased by cops, right? That's like the only way to listen to the song. And he's just like, I can't think of a good whiny song. I'm like, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd? He's like, I've never heard it. I'm like, oh my god, how have you not heard Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd? There are so many good whiny songs. Creep by Radiohead. That's a brilliant song, and that junk is nothing but whiny. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. But yeah. I'll leave the point there. Just people don't really get art. And so my friend Nick, who's like a really good musician, like he plays just about everything. I've been over to his house a couple times, like his old house, not his new house. I've been to his new house a couple times too though. But at his old house, he had like a drum set, he had multiple guitars, he had multiple different types of drums. He had like bongos, and he had like I don't know what the other kinds of drums are called, but he had a like very very expensive, very professional looking keyboard piano. He had an accordion. He had his saxophone, his trusty saxophone. This dude plays saxophone like a beast. He plays saxophone so much, he inspired one of my other friends to start picking up the saxophone. That's how much he played saxophone. He had like, I'm pretty sure he had like a French horn that he was playing at one point. He has a trumpet. Dude plays music more than anybody I know. So how can you not understand it? Oh no. I'm like, how can you not understand it? You play music so often. You know what he listens to? I was in the car with him right after he got done talking about how bad Freebird was, and he starts talking about he puts on Clowncore. He puts on Hell by Clowncore. I'm like, this is the worst piece of music I've ever heard in my entire life. And here's the thing. One of my favorite bands is known for their disgustingly ugly songs. And I can't say it because I'm waiting to do a video on that. I'm waiting to do a video on my favorite band, dude. So I can't talk about that. So it just circles right back around to I need an entourage. I need people to work for me. I need to be a manager. Maybe that's how I'll be happy. I can't have a job and be happy. I need to manage. I need to superintend. What an egotistical thing to say. Yeah, no, I'm work-phobic. I'm jobophobic. And I'm making a lot of progress on things, but I feel slow. I feel slow is what I feel like. And my sleep schedule is ruined, hence why I'm up at almost 7 in the morning. It's because I haven't gone to bed yet. But yeah. I've also been reviewing a lot of my videos not at my own discretion. Like, I have a friend who's like my super fan. He's like a real big super fan. He watches my videos in his free time. And he'll binge watch my old videos. And he'll like watch a video, and then he'll come back to it a week later like, oh dude, I gotta see that again. And on like every channel that I've ever made ever, he will just watch all of this stuff. And so like I'm often revisiting stuff. I'm often talking about stuff that I've put to rest. And now that he's got a girlfriend, he's introducing her to my videos. And now she's asking me to revisit some of my own ideas. Less so than him, but there have been a few times. Yeah. I'm at that point where I'm not quite sure what to say, but I feel like I have a lot more that I want to say. I've said this to a lot of people in real life before, but a lot of my thoughts don't actually start off as words. They start off as feelings, like in my chest more so than a word in my brain. Not to say that I don't have an internal monologue. In fact, I have a very loud internal monologue. That sucker is talking 24/7. But when somebody says something to me, a lot of the times my reaction or my response to said thing is not an instant like, oh, let me think about what to say. It's more like I know what I want to say now, but let me think about how to word it. It's a very impulsive gut reaction sort of thing. I don't think there's anything left to talk about on the job front. I think I can put that to bed because like ultimately I'm not afraid of getting a job. I'm not afraid of school ending. I am a little bit afraid of not clicking with people. I guess that's what I wanted to circle back to. I'm afraid I won't click with people because so often I find myself explaining why a thing is good to me. I watched Pulp Fiction with a friend of mine, and he did not like it. He did not like it. Understandably so. That's a very out there movie. It's a very out there movie. Tarantino is just crazy. He's an insane, insane guy. How do you do that? I could never write something like that. It's insane. It's just insane how you can go and connect all of those plot lines like that. It's I love it. I love it. But yeah, I think I am just afraid of me not being able to connect with who I want to connect with in the art world. I'm afraid that I'll finish the book I'm working on and I'll go on to write my next one and nobody will pick up my first one. Even though it's been through now 4 drafts. I just started a fourth draft because I thought of something better. But I won't even get into that because it's such a minor thing nobody would even care about, but like a minor through line that I needed to just work through. But I started on the fourth draft, and I'm afraid that I'll finish this fourth draft all the way through, 20-something chapters maybe, 15, 18, something like that. And then nobody will pick it up. They won't give it a chance. Or worse, they will and nobody will read it. Oh, it would be so bad if I got published and made no money because nobody bought it. And then, oh, dude, that is a career ender. Can you imagine if you got published by like a local publishing firm and then nobody purchased your story? Oh, it's just like, why would I even bother at this point? It's over for me. I'm also worried about ideas that I've had becoming old or stale. I mean, I have so many thoughts and ideas, and I have so many projects working on simultaneously. I'm afraid that when something goes up, the feeling will have already passed. Since a lot of my thoughts arise as feelings, what happens when I don't feel that feeling anymore? For example, I said that I was thinking about the AI thing a lot. I was thinking about the AI thing, and I wrote 2 videos, like 2 scripts for videos. One a couple weeks ago, and one a couple months ago. And like the feeling is still there. The feeling is still there, but like that's not the case for everything. It's not the case for everything, and I can't say it all because I might spoil something. Spoil something in the future, and I don't want to do that. And I don't know. I really don't want to leave this video on like such a I don't know what to do anymore kind of vibe. But I don't know. That's how you feel sometimes. That's just how you feel. Sometimes you feel like you've just got to talk and talk and talk and talk for 43 minutes and 25 seconds now. It's 7 in the morning on July 24th, 2025. Sometimes you just got to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So maybe I will leave it here. Thanks, guys. See ya.